Yo, what's up guys? It's Noah here, and in today's video, I'm going to be talking through some player props I like on Prizepicks for the Week 7 Monday Night Football slate. We do have Monday night, or we have Week 7 closing out Monday night with a doubleheader. So we got another Monday Night Football doubleheader. Bucks and Lions is the first game starting at 7 Eastern, and then after that game at 10 o'clock, it's going to be a late night game. We got a game between the Seahawks and the Texans. So a little two-game slate for Monday night, guys. Going to give you guys two props that I'm liking for this slate. We're going to give out a prop from each game. So we will talk about a play that I like first in the Lions-Bucks game, and then after that, we'll talk about a play that I like from the Texans and Seahawks game. So before we do talk through these plays, as always, if you guys do enjoy these Prizepicks videos, and if they help you out, make sure you hit that like button down below for me. Hit that subscribe button as well. And if you guys are new to the channel, if you are new to Prizepicks, if you don't have a Prizepicks account, make sure that you go sign up. Use that promo code NOAH when you do sign up for Prizepicks with my promo code and play $5. You're going to get $50 worth of free lineups just for signing up and using code NOAH. And you'll also get a free square because right now Prizepicks does have a free square available for the NBA season. So if you look on the screen, Steph Curry's points prop is set at 0.5. This is for opening night of NBA, which is Tuesday night. So the NBA season is right around the corner. Tuesday night, opening night. Steph Curry's points prop is set at 0.5. This is a free pick available to everyone. So just another incentive to sign up for Prizepicks right now. You get this free pick to go along with, the $50 in free lineups as well. Again, when you sign up with code NOAH. So go check out Prizepicks if you guys don't have an account over there yet. And also, do want to give a quick shout out to Sleeper because we are partnered up with Sleeper as well. And you guys can go sign up for Sleeper. Use promo code NOAH over there. You'll get your first deposit matched up to $100. You'll also get a free $20 entry. So if you look on the screen here to my left, a free $20 entry just for signing up for Sleeper and using code NOAH. And you don't have to make a deposit to get that entry. You can sign up, put in that code NOAH, and you'll instantly get that $20 entry without even having to make a deposit. So this is going to be a way for you to try out the Sleeper app, try out their platform without even having to put any money in. And if you win money off that free lineup, off that free entry, well, that's just going to be a way for you to, starting to build up your bankroll on Sleeper. You could possibly build up a bankroll without even having to put any money in. So it's really a win-win for you guys. If you don't like the Sleeper app, you can delete the app. You never have to use it again. But definitely try them out while they're giving out this free $20 entry to all new users. And again, to get this, you sign up and use promo code NOAH. But yeah, guys, let's talk about some Prizepicks plays that I do like here for this slate on Monday for this Monday Night Football doubleheader. Now, I do want to recap the plays that we gave out in our video for Sunday before we talk through our plays for Monday night. So, gave out 3 picks for the Sunday slate. Sadly, it was a bad day for us because we went 0-3 on the 3 plays that we gave out Sunday. Missed on Jordan Whittington over 5 targets. Whittington finished with 4 targets. The Rams really spread the ball around in that game, that London game. Whittington, he had 3 targets, like literally on 3 plays. There was a drive where he literally got targeted on first down, second down, and third down. And then after that, he didn't get targeted until like the 4th quarter. He got a target and then didn't get another target the rest of the game. The Rams had a big lead, so like they were kind of running the ball and killing the clock late in the game. It was frustrating, but yeah, that play missed. We missed on Breece Hall over fantasy score. Hall, got good volume, kind of had, I want to say he had like 15 or 16 touches, but just was inefficient. The Panthers defense, is definitely improved. That was something that I was a little bit skeptical on. Seeing the Panthers defense, historically have been really bad against the run, but they've been playing better as of late. They've been playing better this season. That was definitely something that I might have overlooked for sure, is how improved the Panthers defense has been. But I like the spot a lot for Breece Hall. Thought the matchup was good. Was expecting a lot of volume, and he got decent volume, just was not efficient with it. The Jets offense, they couldn't move down the field. They couldn't get in scoring position. Like the Jets offense has just been so bad. So we missed on that play, and then we also took Michael Carter over 8.5 fantasy score. Really liked that play. Thought it was going to be a 50-50 split between Carter and Bam Knight, but it was Bam Knight who got a lot of the early work. I don't think Carter actually even got a touch until like the 2nd quarter of the game. They were using Bam Knight a ton early, and then late in the game, they did start to use Carter a little bit more. I want to say Carter had like 8 touches, which is kind of what I was expecting. I was expecting him to get like 8 to 12 touches. He had 8 touches, but just wasn't efficient. Had 6 carries for, I think, 10 yards, and then he did have 2 catches for 20-something yards. Finished with like 5 or 6 fantasy points, but frustrating day on Sunday. Definitely felt like I had probably some bad reads. That was definitely a slate I think I would like to do over if I could, but It's in the past now. We got to move on to Monday, guys. We got a two-gamer here for Monday night, 2 picks for this game or for these games. Let's go ahead and break them down. So, looking at the first game, Bucks and Lions. The prop that I'm liking in this game is a fantasy score, and we're going to take Jameson Williams for more than 10 fantasy score. So, Jameson Williams has kind of been a frustrating player this year. He's been very up and down. He's had some big games. Obviously, you can see he had a big game last week against Kansas City, had a big game against the Bears, and then sandwiched in between those games are some stinkers against Baltimore, against Cleveland, against Cincinnati. Jameson Williams, though, he is a player that he kind of has this boom-bust tendency just because of how he plays. Like, he's not a guy that gets a ton of volume. Like, he's not a player that's typically going to get like 10 targets. That's obviously Amon-Ra St. Brown's the guy that you kind of expect to lead this team in targets. But Jameson Williams does offer a lot of the big play upside. He's a guy that can get you 10 fantasy points on one catch because he can catch like a 50-yard touchdown, and obviously that's enough. That would put him over this fantasy score line. He's a guy that has a ton of big play upside, and I like this matchup for him against Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay is a defense that they've historically been significantly worse against the pass than they have been against the run. So far this season, they've definitely been worse against the pass than they have against the run. So I think this is a good spot for the Lions offense to be able to move the ball through the air. And the Lions offense, they have historically performed really well at home in the dome. And the reason I say that is because you see this happen a lot. Teams that play in domes typically perform better at home just because they're used to those dome conditions. They're used to not playing in any weather, not having to worry about wind, rain, any of that. Obviously, when you play outdoors, there's going to be weather concerns. But when you play indoors in a dome, it's just going to be much more comfortable to play in those type of situations. And you see a lot of these Lions players, a lot of their offensive players have better splits at home. Like Jared Goff, since he joined the Lions, he has been significantly better at home. I want to say Amon-Ra St. Brown's had better numbers at home. A lot of their guys have. Jameson Williams is another one of those guys that has been better at home. If you look at his fantasy points per game at home versus on the road, he averages about 3 more fantasy points per game at home than he does on the road. And it makes sense because, again, it's just a comfortable environment playing in a dome. It's a good matchup here for Jameson Williams facing a beatable Tampa Bay secondary. This is also a game that has a very high total. So this is one of those games that I think we could see be a shootout. It's got a total over 50 points right now. I think the total's at like 52.5. So if we have a shootout type environment here, I think that sets up really well for Jameson Williams, a guy who, again, has big play upside, facing a Tampa Bay secondary that is very beatable through the air. This does feel like a really good spot for Jameson Williams. It was good to see him get some good volume last week. I know his targets this season have been a little bit up and down, but last week did have 7 targets, 6 catches for 66 yards and a touchdown. He's had some games this year where he's only had like 1 target. He had a game where he only had 3 targets, but typically he's a guy we can project for like 4 to 7 targets on a weekly basis, and he's one of those players that can do a lot with the targets that he gets. He doesn't need a ton of volume to get you there because, again, he just has so much big play upside. He's a guy they'll target a lot down the field. Obviously, he's a speedster, super fast, super mobile. If he gets one-on-one coverage, a lot of times they're going to take that shot to Jameson Williams because he's a guy that can easily beat one-on-one coverage because of how quick he is. And I think this is a matchup where he definitely could have a lot of success against a bad Tampa Bay secondary that's very beatable through the air. So, like this spot for Jameson Williams, taking him for more than 10 fantasy score. And then the other play that I like in the other game, the Seahawks and Texans game, we're going to look at a receiving yards prop. And for receiving yards, I'm liking Woody Marks for more than 15.5 receiving yards. So Woody Marks has been the RB2 for the Texans this year. He's been backing up Nick Chubb. Nick Chubb typically most weeks is going to get more touches than Woody Marks. He's typically going to play more snaps. But in certain game scripts, you will see Marks get more opportunity, get more snaps. And I think this could be one of those game scripts where Marks plays more because this is a spot where the Texans are going on the road into Seattle as 3-point underdogs. This is definitely one of those game scripts where I wouldn't be surprised if we see Houston forced to throw a little bit more, especially if they're playing from behind. And the way you beat the Seahawks defense is through the air. The Seahawks have been very, very tough to run on. I think so far this season, the Seahawks are actually giving up the second fewest rush yards per game. I think only the Packers have given up fewer rush yards than the Seahawks this year. So this is a really tough spot for, at least it looks like on paper, a really tough spot for Houston to be able to run the ball. So I think they're going to have to do damage through the air in the passing game. And that's where Woody Marks is really good. Woody Marks is a much better pass catcher than Nick Chubb. Nick Chubb typically not a guy that gets a lot of usage in the passing game. When he was with Cleveland, he didn't really get a lot of usage in the passing game. So far with the Texans, he's been getting like maybe 1 to 2 targets per game, but typically not a guy you expect to get a lot of usage in the passing game. They don't really play Nick Chubb on like 2-minute drills, third downs. Like that's when Woody Marks is going to be on the field, out there running routes, catching passes. So far this season, Marks has only gone over this line in 2 games, but they've had some weird game scripts. Like last week against Baltimore, that was a game that the Texans won easily. They won by 34 points. We actually saw Dameon Pierce get some snaps last week, which typically doesn't happen. Like Dameon Pierce, he had not played, the last like 3 weeks, and then he played 16 snaps last week. I think a lot of that came in garbage time late in the game when the game was out of hand. They also gave some carries to British Brooks, who I don't even know who British Brooks is, but he got some opportunity last week for the Texans. Like clearly the Texans did not have to put their main guy, like Woody Marks and Nick Chubb, those guys didn't even have to play in the fourth quarter. But obviously this projects to be a more competitive game, so you should see basically probably a 55-45 split in snaps between Marks and Chubb. And I think in a certain game script where the Texans get behind, that's going to definitely favor Woody Marks. Like we said, the Texans, Seattle, they've been very tough to run on this year. They've been a team you can beat through the air. And pass-catching running backs have had a ton of success against the Seahawks team. If you look at the Seahawks and what they've allowed to opposing running backs in the receiving game, the Seahawks are giving up the most receptions, second most receiving yards, and they've been targeted the most. Running backs have been targeted the most against Seattle. So when running backs face Seattle, that's typically a good thing for them in terms of getting usage in the passing game. So I think this is a really good spot for Woody Marks to get a couple catches here. He's a guy that has shown to be a good pass catcher in his career. Obviously, we don't have a big sample of him in the NFL, but in his final year of college, last year at USC, he was really good as a pass catcher. Had 47 catches for 321 yards last season when he was in college at USC. So far in the NFL, hasn't been getting a ton of usage in the passing game, but when he has gotten receptions, he's been able to do a lot with them. This game where he had 37 yards, he only had 1 catch in that game. Like he's been able to break off big plays with the receptions that he gets. He's favored for over 1.5 receptions in this game. Like if you look at his receptions prop, Woody Marks is favored. He's a goblin for 1.5 receptions. He's only gone over that line once this season, but clearly the sportsbooks are expecting this to be a spot where Marks gets some usage in the passing game because, again, he's favored for over 1.5 receptions despite only going over this line once. And if we get 2 or 3 receptions from Marks, I think there's a very good chance he's able to get 16 yards on those receptions. So, like this is our 2 props, guys, for Monday Night Football for this doubleheader. It's a 2-game slate, so did want to give you guys 2 plays, 1 from each game. This is what I'm liking. Looking at the board the night before on Sunday night. As always, guys, appreciate your support on these Prizepicks videos. Let's go 2-0. Let's make some money on this Monday Night Football doubleheader. If you guys did enjoy this video, make sure that you hit that like button for me before you do get out of here. Hit that subscribe button as well. And if you guys are new to the channel, if you are new to Prizepicks, if you don't have a Prizepicks account, be sure to go sign up. Use that promo code NOAH. And again, when you play $5, you'll get $50 worth of free lineups just for signing up with code NOAH. Good luck, guys. Let's win some money tonight, and I'll see you in the next video.